Alright guys, so I've been streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/hamtoru. If you want to pull up, pull up. We have a lot of fun here. So someone in chat suggested that we have a bosses tier list, and we're going to do these bosses based off of soloing them and their design. So I made a tier list of all the bosses, and we're going to talk about them. And we got chat here too. So we're going to start with Akechi. So Akechi... Oh, another thing is we're going to talk about these bosses not at like fucking 65k stat, okay? We're going to talk about these bosses with like minimum damage for each one, okay? Because if we talk about like 60k stat, then all these bosses are trash except for like a few. So we're going to talk about Akechi at minimum stat to clear. So Akechi is actually a really well-designed boss. Are you going to take their BGM into consideration? No, we're not going to... Oh... No, that... Dude, I don't know. Because if we take BGM into consideration, Seren is like instant S tier. Instant crazy pog. Are we taking BGM into consideration? No BGM. Let's keep it simple. Let's think... Okay, so we're gonna talk about these bosses mechanically, okay? So I think I'm qualified to talk about these bosses because I've done all these bosses, and I've done them all at very like difficulties, okay? Like I've done these bosses close to minimum damage for all of them, okay? So Akechi is actually a really well balanced boss. Like it's a really well designed boss. It's actually pretty hard if you don't have the damage. Like it's actually like not brain dead. There's a lot of mechanics, like especially with the mechanic where every time Akechi hits you, that stupid ticker goes up like to 30. And then once it goes to 30, you're like fucking dead. There's a lot of knockups. You gotta be... Akechi really teaches you about positioning. Some of his attacks are a bit too fast. Yeah, they are really fast, but Akechi really does teach you about positioning. And then he also has DR. And he has a bunch of one-shots. He has a lot of different patterns, especially in his second phase. So he's a two-phase boss, too. He's not just like a enter, one-shot him, and leave type boss. He's a two-phase boss. Why is Chrome not on full screen? So we could see... Oh, true. Okay, we're not going to put it on full screen. You can't see the chat. Alright, so... Okay, so Akechi, I would put Akechi in very pog. He's actually a really difficult boss. How many retakes does this need? We're not retaking, okay? We're gonna do it raw. Okay, so I would put Akechi in very pog. Akechi is a very pog boss. It's actually not easy. Here, this is better. Next boss, Princess No. I think Princess No is one of the worst designed bosses in the whole game. It's deadass dog shit. Like, it's deadass dog shit. I hate this boss. This is one of the worst bosses. So how this boss works is there's like 5 different rooms. And you're like damage capped for the first like 3 rooms. And it's just the most annoying thing. So if you're a class that doesn't have some sort of damage reflection, like if you're not a Night Lord and you don't have a reflective ring, this boss takes so long for no reason. Really fun. Good BGM requires a lot of skill. I disagree. You're supposed to fight Pino. Meanwhile, spend 10 minutes fighting a dead-ass whale. This boss is trash. Like, this is a trash boss. Needs to be reworked. One of the worst bosses ever created in this whole game. Might be the actual worst. The whale is not fun. There's nothing to it. There's no trick. There's nothing to it. You could telecast to stay at the top, but it's like, okay, what about non-telecast users? Like, you're just going to be spamming rope lift and up jump to get up there. It's actually the worst thing in the world. And then the second room is just a bunch of mobs that you do 100. There's no thinking in this boss. There's no thinking. You just smack the mobs. Smack the mobs until you die, until you get the final room. And then in the final room, Princess No's mechanics just don't make any sense. Like, they just are a bunch of random shit. She'll either, like, slow you to the point where you could barely move, or she'll one-shot you with a stomp, or she summons goons that make her invincible until you kill the goons. Like, her mechanics are just trash. Like, this boss is actually dog. So it's in trash. Now, we go to the complete other side of the spectrum. We go to Chosen Seren. Ooh, Seren. So Seren is actually a very good boss if it didn't require touch cancel. The whole touch cancel thing requirement on Seren is the dumbest thing Maplestory's ever done, bro. Like, how are you gonna make a boss that you must have a Night Lord or a Fire Poison or a Mercedes in the boss with you? If you're soloing but this boss and you're not one of those 3 classes, it's like extreme mega ultra difficulty. Touch cancel just makes half of this boss brain dead. So I'm really stumped on this one because I don't know where to rank it. Because on one part of me thinks it's crazy pog. Like, I think the whole gauge mechanic and the whole test mechanic in P3 and P2 is really good. And the different like times of the day with the sun is really good. I think it's a cool design and everything. And I think having different patterns for each time of the day is a very good idea. And each different pattern is like a whole different boss. But the whole touch cancel thing is just you can't look over it. You know what I mean? Like you can't ignore the fact that the touch cancel is there. Like, why is sunset harder than noon? It depends on the class. For me, noon is harder than sunset. Honestly, don't think the touch cancel thing is intended. They definitely did not think of that. Dude, this touch cancel thing is extremely difficult. So, if we're going to rank Seren, excluding any touch cancel, I think it's crazy bug. I think this design is so... The boss is so well designed. It's difficult enough, and it's really cool. But if you include touch cancel, I'm gonna put it in very pog. It goes down a tier because the whole touch cancel thing is really dumb. And also the way the test works is just like bugged right now. Like this shit's just really annoying. All right, Black Mage. Now, what does touch cancel mean? It means so certain skills in certain classes you could put a debuff on the boss, meaning the boss itself, the physical boss, if you go next to it and it touches you, it does no damage. And that's like a huge part of Seren. Touch cancel. So, Black Mage. I think this boss is crazy pog. This boss is like... It's one of the... Even to this day, P1 Black Mage solo is one of the hardest things you could do in this whole game. And people who solo Black Mage are pog. So let's start with P1. P1, you got 2 knights. Oh my god, Black Mage introduces an entire new way to die. This is the first time that in this whole game you find you have a new way to die, to lose lives. Actually, I lied. Verus Hilla also does that, but I take it back. So Verus Hilla also does that. So Black Mage introduces the whole curse system. The whole curse system is so cool. You don't just die to HP death. You have to watch what curse you get. So it's not like you could just be brain dead and hit this boss all day and spam potions. You have to actually think about what curse you're getting hit by, and you have to know what patterns give what curse, which is extremely different and cool. Now, P1 Black Mage, you have Black Knight and White Knight. Black Knight gives you Black Curse, White Knight gives you White Curse. It's this dance between these 2 knights that you have to kill, and it's extremely difficult. P2, you're getting smacked by chains. You're getting meteored on by white and purple. You have to watch the FMA every minute, whether it's middle, left, or right. You're getting hit by the spikes. You're getting hit by the cat eyes. There's so much shit going on in P2. P3 is the hardest part of Black Mage for most people. P3, you got the bubble. You got to be in the bubble to do damage and heal. P3, he pushes every 4 to X amount of seconds. He does lasers and super lasers. He does purples and white. He does random angel debris. He does reverse. He does FMA every minute. There's 2 different kinds of FMA, up or down. P4, you choose your aura, and your aura either gives you a buff or a debuff. And it's just bullet hell. So P4 is pretty simple, but it's still good. So I would put Black Mage in crazy pog. I don't think the dogness of P4 outweighs the rest of the boss. Okay, Darknell solo. So this boss is very, very difficult. This is a very, very difficult boss. There's a lot of patterns that you have to know. A lot of people, even to this day, a lot of endgame players that I know think that this boss is completely random. They think that this boss is random when it's not random. They just don't know the patterns. So this boss summons a bunch of E-bosses, and each E-boss has a different pattern, whether it's being spawned on the floor or in the air. And Darknell itself has a bunch of patterns that are very dangerous. It does the dash that's almost a one-shot. It does the actual one-shot, the wave. It smacks you around. It does the stomp. Each of the E-bosses have a different pattern. There's 5 different E-bosses, and each of them have 2 patterns. And up to 3 of them can be spawned at a time. So you could be dealing with, like, so much shit on your screen. As falling meteors. Falling meteors are a dog shit mechanic that I don't like. Maple loves to add falling meteors in this game. So I would put Darknell in Crazy Pog, because this boss really puts your mechanics to the limit. People who solo this boss are very good at this game. I'm talking like minimum damage, not like burst it 2 times and leave. If you can solo these bosses at minimum damage, you're Pog. Worst debris in the game in Darknell's Diagonal Meteor. Yes, I hate those. The trick to those is to Hero's Will the first or the 4th one, by the way. Now, Verus Hilla. Verus Hilla, right away I'm going to put it in Crazy Pog. Right away. No second thought. So Verus Hilla, if you don't include healing fams, is one of the most difficult things to solo in the entire game. You can't heal in this boss. You can't heal. You can't lifesteal. The only way to heal is to use the altar. How do you use the altar? You have to get hit by the random string patterns. Not random, but you gotta get hit by the string patterns and light up the candles in the background. And then an altar spawns, and you have to bait away Hilla to use the altar and heal yourself. Now, what else is cool about Hilla? Hilla has a bunch of patterns. Does the skulls. She smacks you around. The skulls. Oh my god, you're right, the maze. Oh my god, you're right. The maze literally brings it down here. The maze itself brings it down here. The maze is the worst thing in this whole game. The maze is literally the worst thing in this entire game. But since the maze is getting removed, we're going to keep it up here. Yeah, since the maze is getting removed, we're going to keep it up here. But if there was a maze, it would be here. It would literally be here if there was a maze. But we're going to future-proof this video, okay? We're going to future-proof it, and we're going to keep it up there. So Hilla without heal fams, extreme difficulty. Again, extreme difficulty. You actually have to consider not getting hit by things. You can't just heal. Purple and green. Blue. Summons Lotus and Damien. There's just so much shit going on in this boss. The whole skull system. If a boss has a way to die without you taking HP death, it's a cool boss. You have to be actually good. Now, Chaos Gloom. Chaos Gloom fucking sucks, bro. This boss sucks. It's literally just debris hell. It's debris hell with like every 10 seconds you dodge a leg. Or like tornadoes. And then you just go up and hit it. I hate bosses that you only have small windows to attack them. I think it's some of the worst design shit in the game. So I'm going to put it in mid. I hate bosses that you only have a small window to attack. It's literally the worst. Now, the darkness mechanic of Gloom is cool. It is very difficult to deal with the darkness and the hands on the ground that petrify you. It is very difficult. But, dude, having only like 30 seconds at a time to hit these bosses, not even 30 seconds, like 20 seconds, is so annoying, dude. Like, it's just waiting to attack. You just wait and you can attack. Like, it's so annoying. Commander William. Commander William is also a very pog boss. This is a very, very pog boss and very difficult to solo. But, unfortunately, they made this boss a lot easier to solo nowadays. So we're going to consider how hard it is now and in the future. This boss used to be a lot harder to solo. I would put it in Crazy Pog than it is now. They made it so you don't even need to know the timings for P1. They made it so a banner shows up and tells you where the room is. You know what I mean? Dude, this guy Ray is so thirsty. Like the whole difficulty of P1 just went to shit. It's not hard anymore. Now P2 is very difficult because it's the same as V Hilla. You can't heal at all. And you have to go through the test, and it's another like sort of bullet hell. You have to know Will's patterns. P3 Will, I think P3 Will is one of the most difficult things to solo at minimum damage in this whole game. And it's very, very well designed. This boss genuinely tests your mechanics and dodging skills, as well as your DPS uptime as you're doing damage. Because it's easy to dodge, and it's easy to do damage, but it's not easy to do damage and dodge. Wow, thank you for the sub eyeballs. I actually appreciate that a lot. Most people use the safe spot in P3. Yeah, you could use the safe spot, but even if with the safe spot, it's really hard. So I would put Will in very pog. Thank you, Pep, for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. I really do. Very pog on the tier list. Not quite crazy pog because they made P1 really easy. There's a safe spot. There's a safe spot in Will. Yes, it makes you dodge all the leg patterns except for one pattern. Now, Lucid. Lucid. So, Lucid P1, you got the golems. The golems are kind of annoying. You got dragon. You got the sickles. You got the bomb. Lucid's a pretty overall... It's overall a good boss. So, it's overall good. There's nothing too crazy, but there's nothing too easy in Lucid. It's just alright. The random TP is some of the most annoying shit in this game. You get random TP'd out of Roar. You get random TP'd into Dragon. It's like, okay, what do? You have to cleanse. Lucid. Oh, okay, the random TP is not random. I agree. It's not random, but it feels random, which is annoying. Oh yeah, Moonlight and Will is a pretty cool system. So another thing in Lucid is you have to do a bar of HP to cleanse. And so it does test your DPS that way. Because you could just hide, you know what I mean? But if you're not attacking the boss and you're not doing damage, you're gonna die. Unless you iframe. So I would definitely put Lucid in alright. This boss is alright. It's not like anything too special. P3 is kind of dumb. I think P3 is kind of dumb because there's nothing to it. It's just smacking a wall for 40 seconds. Like there's no thinking. It's just do your damage. Go. Like. And also, I hate P3 Lucid because it created the whole 40-second BA meta, which is the most stupid shit in this game. I hate when people are just like, what's your 40-second BA, bro? What's your BA? My BA is higher than yours. What's your BA, bro? What's your BA? What's your BA, bro? What's this class's BA? It's like, ugh. So annoying, bro. Just a dumb question. Okay, Guardian Slime. I think Guardian Slime is one of the worst bosses in this whole game. Thank you, Jafar, for the follow. I appreciate it. What's your BA? What's your BA? What's your BA? Dude. My friends and I learn we have the same stat, but his BA is higher. What is wrong with me? People actually ask that question. That's the thing. They actually ask that question. So, this boss, Guardian Slime, is either mid or kind of trash, but I'm going to put it in mid. So, the reason it's not kind of trash is because I think the whole rock slime mechanic and the test is a cool idea. It's not bad. But the fact that you can't hurt this boss barely, you could barely hurt this boss and you only have 15-second windows to hit the boss. Like I said, if you have a small window to hit the boss, it makes the boss trash, bro. It just makes the boss trash. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. You just have to wait. Like, I hate these waiting game bosses. They're so annoying. They're so fucking annoying, bro. But it's not as bad as Pinot, so I'm going to put it at one above tier 1. Tier above it. Now, Damien. Damien, also another very annoying boss. Very, very annoying boss. I hate Damien. This boss is just so boring, bro. Like, especially P2, when you have the stupid blue balls reducing your damage, like, so much, and he's just in the air or invisible or untargetable somehow. Like, this boss is just such a cat and mouse game. Like, you're always just chasing him. You're always chasing Damien. And if you're a mage, Like, if you're a Lumi or something, it's like you could barely hit this guy. Only on bind. Like, this guy is always TPing around. He's always invisible. He's always in the air. I hate Damien. So he goes in mid. Fuck this guy. He's actually so boring to solo. And again, just to make it clear, these are all like min damage bosses. We're talking about minimum damage. Damien, one of the worst ones. He's so annoying to clear. He's not fun. It's just not fun. His mechanics are all very simple. Yes, they're all very basic mechanics. But he's so annoying to deal with. He's always running away. Now, Lotus. Lotus? I would put Lotus in very pog. Lotus is a very pog boss. So P1 is whatever. You know what I mean? P1 is just the spinning laser. So P1 is actually really difficult if we're talking min damage. It's actually really hard. Because the laser starts spinning really fast. And if you don't kill the boss within that time, you're gonna die, bro. Like, you're gonna die. P2 is pretty standard. Bunch of shit falling on your head. He pushes you around. He does the knock-ups. He does the laser on the floor. P2 is pretty standard boss. It's like alright. Now P3 is actually pretty hard at minimum damage. It's hard to stay focused that long because Lotus is a boss where there's no breaks. There's no breaks in this boss to recompose yourself. There's always shit falling on your head, and there's always a sun bouncing around at all times. Or there's always gas on the floor that's gonna be like slowing you down. So you gotta watch like a lot of things in this. There's no like breather on this boss. The pushes, the trains, the purples. You gotta watch your feet on purples and also watch the debris at the same time. There's a lot of shit to keep track of in this boss, so I think it's very pog fun boss. Cygnus is kind of boring. Cygnus literally just does Dark Genesis, which one-shots you. And it's annoying because, like, this shit's, like, almost a full map attack. Or it summons the little, like, fucking Cygnus Knights that just don't do shit. Or it does DR. Like, it's, like, one of those three. So Cygnus is very, very basic and boring. Kind of trash. Like, outdated. You know, need to rework. Outdated boss. Don't care. Pink Bean. Pink Bean is pretty much the same thing. Pink Bean is tornadoes. Oh yeah, and transforms me into pig. Yeah, tornado is just annoying. Cygnus is just annoying. Like, it just has a bunch of annoying abilities, but they're very simple. Pink Bean. So each of the 5 like statues in Pink Bean do something different. The most dangerous one being the left bird one, doing the DR. So you have to stand behind the knight. But the knight statue. But this boss is not very intuitive. It's like, how are you supposed to know that you have to stand behind the fucking left statue to not make it do DR? Like, what? Doesn't make any sense. So Pink Bean's kind of trash. But also Pink Bean's just very annoying. Like, when you fight Pink Bean himself, he'll reverse key you. He'll lock you. Like, this boss is not, he'll DR you. This boss is just a lot of waiting. Either you're reverse keyed, or you're locked, or it has DR. Like, you're just waiting to hit this guy. So it's not fun at all. Vellum. I think this boss is pretty good. I'll put it in alright. This boss is pretty good. It's difficult for the newbies. They're starting to get into this game. This is like the first boss that the newbies will like feel accomplished in soloing, basically. Because like, Vellum's got some tricks, you know. The most annoying thing I think in Vellum, personally, is the rocks falling on your head. A lot of people don't think about the rocks falling on your head and be like, what the fuck, why am I stunned? You gotta watch the shit falling on your head. Vellum teaches you a lot about floor indicators. So you gotta watch the tails that one-shot you. The rocks fall on your head. Him coming out of the ground. The fire blast. The poison. There's a lot of shit falling on you. And this boss is a good like introductory to the other bosses. Well, with the Hayato battle stand circle. So yeah, so I could talk about that, but I'm talking about in general, not about like Hayato specific. Because Hayato specific is actually harder to do Vellum than other classes. Queen. Queen is Queen's alright. Queen is not the craziest thing in the world. Queen has the suck. Queen has the slash that makes you blind. It has the DR, the bubble, the egg, the red bubble. It has the mirror that you have to break. Queen's alright. There's a bunch of tricks to Queen that you gotta keep track of. Bon, this boss is kind of trash. No, it's not trash. We'll put it above in mid. So Bon, again, like we're talking mid damage, you gotta watch the clocks. You're either standing the white clock or the black clock, and you gotta stand on the black clock to increase your time in there. And then he also has the jump. So you get Bon teaches you to watch the boss a lot because he does the jump and he does the cum shot that'll one shot you. And then what else? He does the bird mode when he's like at 5% HP, which is pretty annoying, and fall, and like a bunch of shit falls on your head. Bon black cock with cum shot, one shots, got you base. C-Vel is pretty great, so I would put Bon there. Pierre, this boss is really annoying. This boss is really annoying and really hard at low damage. Like, it's really annoying. Like, at low damage, the boss... Okay, so Pierre has different colored hats, right? Red, blue, purple. If Pierre is wearing a red hat, he does a pattern where he teleports to your last location and one-shots you if you're still there. If he has a blue hat, his pattern is a tornado where he seals you and does damage towards you. If he has a purple hat, he's just going to push you around. Now, he puts a hat on you as well. And if your hat is the same color as his, you heal him. If your hat is the opposite color of him, you do double damage to him. Unless it's purple. If it's purple, it's neutral. Now, if his health gets below like 30% or something like that, he splits. What does split mean? It means there's two Pierres, one with a blue hat, one with a purple, one with a blue hat, one with a red hat. And you will heal the one that has the same color as you. So you gotta watch your attacks. You gotta be very careful. And the healing on this boss is like stupid high. Like, if you just hit him once, he'll be at full health. Like, literally. So this boss is kind of trash in its design. I hate the way this boss is designed. Like, the healing shouldn't be that much, and I hate the fact that he splits. Splitting is so annoying to deal with. Now CPAP is very pog. This is a very difficult boss that I know a lot of end gamers, they can't solo this boss, bro. They either one-shot it or you lose. CPAP has so many mechanics that people don't know about because they just were told that it's really difficult and just wait until you're really strong and then you one-shot it. But CPAP, like, you gotta watch the fucking clocks blowing up on the floor. You gotta watch the electricity on the floor. You gotta watch the arms grabbing you. You can't let the blue and the red laser touch or you die. And then if you take too long, he like seals himself, and then you have to collect the times on the floor to try to eliminate all the options of how much he heals. Because if he seals himself, he's gonna heal himself the highest value that's on the clock in the middle, and you have to eliminate those values. So you got to reduce the possibility of him healing himself. So this boss can potentially heal himself back to full if you don't know the mechanics. So you actually get punished if you don't know the mechanics to this boss. So this boss is very pog. Hilla, trash. This boss is literally trash. It's just DR or kill the statues, hit her, or hide in the bubble. It's literally like just that. It's trash. Magnus. Magnus is actually so hard. Like Magnus, I'm debating putting Magnus in Crazy Pog. No, I'm not going to put him in Crazy Pog. Crazy Pog is really... Those bosses are special. I'm going to put him in Very Pog. This boss Magnus, I guarantee you that like 99% of Maplers can't solo this boss at minimum damage. Like 99% of the end game, like bro, they can't do it, bro. Like this boss is so hard. Like the fact that you have to be in front of his face because you have to be in the bubble to do damage to him. And if you're not in the bubble, you're gonna get one shot by the meteors. And if you get hit by the gas, you're fucked. Like if you get hit by the gas, you're dead. Like guaranteed. You gotta bait out his like dashes. That's why there's a Chow challenge. I actually did the Chow challenge, so that's why I can speak on this boss. You don't heal outside the bubble. What else? He pushes you outside the bubble. He does the purple one shot. He does the stab down. That's a one shot. He has a lot of one shot mechanics that are very annoying. His dash is also an iframe, and a lot of people are like, what? Why can't I hit him? When he's dashing, he's an iframe. Like, dude, imagine a boss that actually has an iframe. Like, you think you're the only one who has an iframe? Magnus literally has an iframe, bro. Like, what? So, this boss is very pog. Zack? Zack is actually harder than it looks, I'm not gonna lie. Zack is definitely, like, alright. So Zack, like, you gotta get rid of the hands. He does the one-shot FMA. He does the mechanic when he's low where you have to stand in the green barrier. And you have to be pretty quick for the green barrier thing. He smacks you with his hands that are one-shot. He does the clap. He does the clap that, like, kills you if you're not on the right platform. Zack has a lot of shit you gotta watch out for, actually. I think that's everything. I think that's all the bosses. If you only kill one side of the arms, you won't do the damage lock. Zack also has, like, yeah, he does the damage lock where you only do once to him. What was your reasoning for Slime? So Slime, it's cool that you have a little mini game that you have to do to block the doors. But it's really, really dumb that you only have 15 seconds to attack this guy. It's like the dumbest mechanic in this whole game. So I think this is my personal tier list. Again, this is my personal tier list on these bosses. Forgot Ranmaru and Ark. No, I'm only doing weekly bosses, not daily ones. Yeah, I would definitely say this for the bosses. Again, this is my opinion. You could differ with me, which is fine. But yeah. If you want to participate in these, follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/hamtoru. Goodbye.